Welcome to JK Tells a Story, where real-life dramas unfold. Sit back and enjoy today's tale. In time, every successful revolution puts on the robes of the tyrant it overthrew. Barbara Tuchman said that, and I suspect she's right. I never dreamed of being a tyrant. But apparently villains in life are rarely aware of their roles. They always justify their actions as if their atrocities are acceptable because they are the ones doing them. The standards of things like honesty, fair play, and unselfishness that they demand from others, they themselves ignore. If you lie to them, treat them unfairly, or don't show them respect, they complain bitterly. But if the shoe is on the other foot, that's quite normal. I haven't always been a villain. In fact, few people around me even realized I was one. My wife and 2 daughters nominated me for this role. Somehow, in an Orwellian turn, objections to lies and deceit became tyrannical. After the uprising, my wife became the tyrant. My wife was Vanessa. She was a tall, dark-skinned beauty. I wasn't sure of her origins. She and her mother claimed to have Native American roots, but that's what everyone says. To me, she looked more Mediterranean. My name is Connor North. I have no idea where my parents found this name or what my background is. Everyone calls me Con. My 2 daughters are Morgan and Riley. Morgan was 16 and Riley was 14. The first sign of my new role came as we lay in bed on a Saturday night in our Boulder home. Vanessa and I had just been together, and she turned her head to look at me. I was lost in her huge brown eyes. "Con," she said. "The girls at work have invited me to the lodge next weekend to do some scrapbooking. Do you mind?" Actually, I did mind, but not very much. I had tickets for a Rockies baseball game and was going to take the girls with me. I hadn't told them anything yet. It was only spring training, so it wasn't that big of a deal. "No, I know you like that kind of thing," I said. "Go and have a good time. You've been wanting to organize our photos for a long time. Not a villain, right?" She left and came back very happy. She'd made 3 new albums of our family photos, decorated with things she liked. She was very proud of them. I admired them for the required time and forgot about it. The next month she went again. After 6 months, it became twice a month. After a year, it increased to once a week. None of this was a problem until Stephanie, one of Vanessa's work friends, saw me at the grocery store. "Why don't you ever come with Vanessa?" she asked me. "Well, I have very little interest in scrapbooking," I told her. Anyway, I was never invited. She looked at me funny. "We only do scrapbooks once a month," she said. "The rest of the time we go out to drink and dance. Derek always goes with me. You should come, that would be fun." Derek was her husband. Who knew? I'd never heard a word about drinking and dancing. As far as I was concerned, it was all about making beautiful books. I didn't check out what Vanessa's scrapbooks looked like because, like I said, I had very little interest in scrapbooks. None at all. We clearly needed to talk. I went straight home. Vanessa wasn't there, and Morgan wanted to talk to me. Her boyfriend had invited her to go to a concert. She went out with him when they were part of a group. I was really worried about a 16-year-old girl going to a concert alone with her 18-year-old boyfriend. "You can go if other friends go with you," I told her. "My rule is that you can't date alone until you're old enough to drive." I explained this for the 1,000th time, and she got angry. "God, Daddy, you're such a damn tyrant," she said, and stormed off. I adapted to my new role. This was the first time I realized my high position. She didn't talk to me for 3 days. When Vanessa got home, I cornered her. "I saw Stephanie at the grocery store, and she asked me if I would come to your next event, with drinks and dancing and scrapbooking," I said. Vanessa's face turned red, and she immediately assumed a defensive posture. "I was going to ask you," she said. "Oh, I guess it just slipped your mind," I said. It was probably hard to remember to mention that scrapbooking has turned into drinking and dancing. I completely understand. They're so similar in nature that you simply forgot. "Well, no problem. We husbands are rarely interested in our wives drinking and dancing, are we? Is there anything else you were going to tell me? No need to be sarcastic, she replied sharply. I don't have to tell you every minute what I'm doing. No, I guess you're right, I said. Usually, though, people think it's important that their spouse knows where they are, in case of an emergency, you know. Derek seems to know that Stephanie dances and drinks. She even told me that he goes out with her. Can you imagine? I can't imagine any man wanting to be around his wife while she's drinking and dancing. Can you? She blushed even more. You're not interested in dancing, she said. It's just a girl thing. Is Derek a girl? I asked. I didn't know his behavior made me suspicious of anything at all. When did he change his orientation? Don't be stupid, she said. He doesn't like men. He just likes to be there to make sure Stephanie doesn't go overboard. Strange, I said. Are there other husbands who share his paranoia? None of the other husbands know what we do, she said. So Stephanie is the only honest woman in the group? I asked. Nice set of friends you have, Vanessa. You don't know them, and I don't like it when you make jokes about my friends, she said. No other husband is trying to be a dictator like you. No one is being dishonest. You mean no one but you, I said. Maybe the others aren't married. She was ready to explode. How can you accuse me of being dishonest? I've never lied about anything. No, I guess you're right, I said. I'd say she's the only one in the group who isn't a liar. Vanessa looked at me as if I'd hit her and went upstairs. Dinner was tense, with two of them not talking to me. It was very awkward. I can handle awkwardness, so I went to watch the Nuggets game before going upstairs. Vanessa was already in bed, and the bedroom door was locked. I took the small round key from the top of the door, unlocked it, replaced the key, and entered. Get out of here, she said. You'll sleep on the couch. I ignored her and took out some clean underwear from my drawer. I'm not going to sleep with you, she said. It'll be a long time before you come back here. I ignored her and went to the shower. You won't sleep here, she said when I came out. Get out of here, I told her. I don't need your permission to sleep in my own bed. If you don't like it, go sleep on the couch. I think she was shocked. I'd heard men talk about how their wives make them sleep on the couch. I always thought it was a metaphor. Apparently, she'd heard the same stories and believed them. She may have heard other stories where men actually went to sleep on the couch. Luckily, I'm 70 pounds heavier than her. I'm also 4 inches taller, and she would have a hard time carrying me. She probably thought she could just lock me outside our bedroom, and I'd be as soft as a lamb. Well, this lamb becomes a lion. This is what we tyrants do. We refuse to cooperate in our own overthrow. She was furious. She stood up, grabbed her pillow, and began rummaging through her dresser for a blanket. After a few minutes, she left, and I had a good night's sleep. When I went to work the next morning, she was already up and looking tired. Perhaps the sofa wasn't so comfortable for sleeping. I never liked that thing, even as a place to sit, let alone as a bed. It was strewn with 100 stupid pillows and was very uncomfortable as a chair, much less a bed. When I got home, I went upstairs to change clothes and found that all my things were gone. I looked around and found that she'd put away her scrapbooking supplies, and that room had become a bedroom. All my things were there. There was a sofa bed, and apparently she thought I would sleep on it. I didn't intend to. I moved my things back to our bedroom. Vanessa stood up and saw me carrying the suits down the hallway to our bedroom. "What are you doing?" she asked. "I've cleared out the spare room," she said. "You'll sleep there until you apologize to me." "No, I won't," I told her. "Let's see how you get me to sleep there. If anyone is going to live there, it's going to be you. Do you want a divorce, Vanessa? Is that what you're getting at?" She looked shocked. "What are you talking about? You were rude to me. You called me a liar and a cheat." "I said it was deceptive," I pointed out. "Accuracy is important. Technically, you weren't a liar, but deceptive." "What the hell is wrong with you, Khan?" she said. "I'm the mother of your children and your wife. You can't talk to me like that." "Why not?" I asked. She didn't know what to answer for a minute. I'm sure this didn't go according to her plan. She should have been forgiven, and I should have crawled back, completely ignoring the fact that she was being deceptive. Her mouth opened and closed several times. "You've never spoken to me like that in our 17 years of marriage," she said. "You've never been deceptive before," I pointed out. "Well, as far as I know. Maybe you were, and I just didn't know. So, do you want a divorce?" "No, I don't want to," she said. "I want my husband to understand that he can't talk to me like I'm some naughty schoolgirl. I'm a grown woman, and you need to talk to me with respect." "Respect is earned," I told her. "Being deceptive doesn't deserve respect. Since you don't feel the need to explain to me how scrapbooking turned into drinking and dancing, how you forgot to mention it to me, and you're not at all embarrassed by your early onset Alzheimer's, it seems clear to me that you really want a divorce. Then you won't have to worry about these bouts of forgetfulness in the future." "You're making a mountain out of a molehill," she said. Apparently, she believed that the best defense was an attack, because she went on the offensive. "Why did you tell Morgan she couldn't go to the concert?" "I didn't tell her that," I said. "Remember, accuracy is important. Words matter, Vanessa." "So what did you say?" she asked. "I told her she couldn't go alone with her boyfriend," I said. "If they're going with a group of friends, I don't care. She won't date alone until she learns to drive. You helped me set that rule." "Well, I changed my mind," she said. "I told her she could go." "Okay," I said. "I'll talk to the lawyer on Monday." And then I turned and went downstairs to the living room. She followed me, screaming the whole time, but I didn't listen. I turned on the game and ignored her. She finally gave up and went somewhere. At that time, I didn't care where. Morgan came in a while later and smirked at me smugly. I'd have to do something about this. Apparently Riley had been told about my tyranny, and she didn't talk to me either. It suited my mood. On Saturday, I went fishing. On Sunday, I went to a boat show. Vanessa apparently accepted her defeat and moved into the spare bedroom. I slept well, enjoying the opportunity to spread out in bed as I pleased. I took Monday off and visited my lawyer. When you're a tyrant and own a company, you can do things like that. I asked him to start the divorce process, and he promised that the documents would be delivered to our house the following Monday. Then I bought a ticket to the concert where Morgan was staging her rebellion. I did the usual steps of separating our finances and had a pretty good week. On Friday, there was a concert by Riley's orchestra. She still didn't talk to me, so I went to see the movie I wanted to see. I went to bed around midnight, and Vanessa still hadn't come home. The girls locked themselves in their rooms while I played video games and then went to bed. The next evening, Morgan was getting ready and left for the concert. I left 10 minutes after her. I found her and her boyfriend in the audience. I checked her ticket number and sat right behind them. The music was as you might imagine, but I had my phone and headphones. Morgan was shocked to see me, but I didn't say anything. I could see her seething with anger, and I really enjoyed it. At some point, they got up and left, and I slowly followed them, remaining in sight. I think they didn't enjoy the concert as much as they'd expected. I returned home after the concert, and on Sunday morning, 3 very angry women were waiting for me in the kitchen when I came down. Luckily, I didn't have to go through the kitchen. I just walked through the laundry room and into the garage. I had time for golf, and I just walked past their ambush and went to play golf. After that, I went to a tool sale and bought the impact wrench I wanted. When I got home, they heard me come in, but before they could set up the ambush again, I was in the bedroom with the door locked and a chair under the handle in case they knew about the key. They were knocking on the door and shouting, but I had my comfortable headphones on. Best investment I've ever made. I left for work the next morning before they got up. When I returned at 4:30, the ambushers were in full readiness. I grabbed a Mountain Dew and went into the living room. They circled around like sharks, and I made no attempt to avoid them. I was quite a villain. I ruined Morgan's date, didn't go to Riley's concert, and seriously offended Vanessa. I felt pretty good. My reign as a tyrant began like clockwork. Just before 5, the doorbell rang, and I opened the door. It was a man delivering documents. He looked like a refugee from the Russian mafia. Shaved head and tattoos on his neck that disappeared under a nice suit. He looked fierce. I let him in and he did his job. He seemed to have no problem and only stuck to business. The 3 girls didn't say a word while he was there, other than Vanessa introducing herself. There was silence for a moment after he left. Vanessa opened the envelope, and her face went white when she saw what was inside. She collapsed on the uncomfortable couch, and I sat in my comfortable chair drinking Mountain Dew. "Mom, are you okay?" asked Riley. "Who is this guy? What did he give you?" Vanessa looked at me as if she was seeing me for the first time. "Are you filing for divorce?" she asked breathlessly. "Well, there's also the little problem of drinking and dancing," I said. "Then there's the matter of moving my things into the spare bedroom, the matter of the couch, and the matter of letting Morgan go to the concert. I know where you were on Friday night, Vanessa. You 3 have had a pretty good life so far. All I ever asked in return was to be loved and respected. I gave you almost everything you ever asked for. Despite this, there was a small rebellion going on here. I love all 3 of you, but you seem to insist on making me look like a villain. I accepted your assessment, and I'm just going by the script." I turned to Morgan. "I wonder how you're going to get that Camaro you wanted when you turned 17. Then to Riley. "I'm pretty sure band camp is canceled now that your mother can't pay for it with her office manager's salary." Then back to Vanessa. "Good luck with the mortgage. Oh yeah, and car payments, utilities, club memberships, and your health insurance too. I'll move out this week." They looked at me as if I was crazy. "Where are you going?" Vanessa asked. "To Mexico," I said. "I think I can live like a king there. I'll have servants and a chauffeur. Maybe I'll find a beautiful tan girl with a couple of kids who will think I'm wonderful. I have everything planned. It'll be great. I hope you all find someone who will make you happy." Morgan seems to be doing pretty well with that pimply idiot she went to the concert with. Maybe Riley will do just fine and become a famous musician without all these camps and lessons. Think about it, Vanessa, you can go to parties and dance all the time. I'm sure you'll enjoy not having to worry about reporting where you are every minute. Live well. I stood up, picked up the suitcases I'd packed, and carried them to my truck. I had to make 3 trips, and I think they were still in shock because they didn't move or say a word. I went and checked into my room at the Hampton Inn, changed, and went down to the pool. I swam until I was tired, then sat in the jacuzzi until I felt somewhat revived and returned to my room. My phone was making an alert sound, so I checked it. I had 3 missed calls, all from Vanessa. She'd left 1 voicemail. I listened to it. "Connor, we need to talk," she said. "The girls and I want you to come home. Give us a chance to talk to you. You said you love us. If that's still the case, give us a chance. Come home, and we'll work things out." Now she wanted to talk. She might even be willing to explain her deceptive behavior. I was going to do it, but it would be on my terms. I sent her a text message. "It's late. I've been here for the last 17 years. You had a chance to talk. You moved into the spare bedroom after moving my things there. This time you'll have to deal with it. I handled everything myself." The phone immediately rang. I didn't respond. 5 minutes later, I received 3 text messages, 1 from each of them. Morgan and Riley just asked me to please not do this and give them a chance to talk to me. Vanessa simply repeated her mantra. "We can work this out. Please come home." I sent her another message and told her I would meet them for breakfast at Snooze on Saturday at 8 a.m. I knew it would make them angry. They all like to sleep until noon on Saturdays. I was a very good tyrant. I discovered that I enjoyed inventing little annoyances for my subjects. They'd definitely come up with enough for me over the past few weeks. There was a lot going on at work that week. Selling a business requires a lot of maneuvering. 1 million papers were signed, and there were meetings to attend. A robotics manufacturing company made me an offer. After many years in business, I signed all the papers, and the money was transferred to my account in Boulder. Yes, I really was going to Mexico. I spoke Spanish fluently and had friends there who told me how great it was. I was a rich man, and Vanessa wasn't going to get any of this without my permission. This is how good tyrants operate. When I sat down at the restaurant, my bags were packed, and my ticket was in my jacket pocket. They showed up about 10 minutes later and slid into the booth. Vanessa next to me and the girls across from me. I had a briefcase with all the necessary documents. They wanted to start talking right away, but I made them wait until we ordered. They brought us food, and we talked while we ate. Morgan spoke first. Dad, lately it's almost impossible to live with you. You're such a control freak. You made me so angry that I just went overboard. Sorry. I respect you and am grateful for everything you do for us. I'm not a child anymore, and you should let me make my own decisions. Me too, Riley chimed in. I feel the same way. We love you, Daddy, but we're growing up, and you just can't control our lives anymore. I'm sorry I didn't talk to you. I smiled at them. Thanks for the apology. I want to apologize too, Vanessa said. I should have told you about the bachelorette parties. It was just harmless girls' fun. I didn't think you'd be interested. Well, it's very nice of you to apologize, Vanessa, I said. The problem is that this balloon is out of air. What? What do you mean? She stuttered. I opened my briefcase and placed photographs in front of her. These were beautiful, very clear pictures. They showed Vanessa and 2 of her friends in compromising situations at one of their houses. It could be harmless to you, I told her. Unless, of course, you have some kind of disease. By the way, I'm clean, the doctor was positive. Maybe you should consider getting checked. It's not like your buddies were being careful. I don't think it was harmless for me. Her jaw dropped. I saw Morgan and Riley crane their necks to look. Vanessa grabbed the photos and turned them face down. How? Oh God. You shouldn't. How did you get those photos, Connor? Do you really think it matters? I asked. If it helps, I told you I was going to talk to a lawyer. The lawyer hired a detective. He followed you last Friday. I'm so sorry. You weren't supposed to know, Vanessa said, crying now. It was just some excitement, you know? I was a virgin when we got married. I just didn't want to spend the rest of my life wondering if I was missing out on something important. This should never have affected us. It didn't hurt. I didn't want to live my life with regret about what I never knew. I never wanted you to know. I was only going to do this once. You have to believe me, Con. No, I don't, I said. Where did people get the idea that what you don't know doesn't hurt you? If your coronary arteries are blocked and you don't know, will a heart attack hurt you? If you have cancer and you don't know, does it hurt you? Your little antics were a cancer eating away at the vitals of our marriage, Vanessa. Cancer doesn't hurt you until you die from it. You killed it. You didn't want to live without knowing what it was like to be with other men. Well, I don't want to live my life not knowing what it's like to have $100 million. This is fine, Rob Fort Knox. Would you mind helping me with this, Vanessa? This is the biggest pile of nonsense I've ever seen. She stood up and ran out of the restaurant, sobbing. Riley looked at me. I can't believe you did this, she said. I think you lack faith. What a disappointment. Faith will set you free? I said. No, wait. It's the truth that sets you free. Sorry if I mixed up the metaphor. They looked at me like I was crazy. They just sat there. Morgan opened her mouth, but nothing came out. She cleared her throat. It was so cruel, she said. I think your trip is leaving, I told them. I don't want you stuck here with someone cruel. You better hurry. They hurried. I paid the bill and went to the airport. An hour later, I was flying through the skies on my way to the rest of my life. I had a lot of regrets. I couldn't understand how everything that had happened could have happened. I was happy, content, and proud for 16 years. It all turned to ashes. I felt lonely and depressed. I did what I always did when I fell apart. I took a nap. It was a long dream, and when I woke up, we were an hour away from Leon. I sat and thought. Vanessa was left to her own devices. She'd made her bed out of lies and would have to sleep in it. The girls? Well, they were just girls. I would try to make sure they didn't need anything. My lawyer would take care of the financial arrangements. If they wanted to see me, I would make it possible. If not, they had their mother for what she was worth. The months in Mexico passed slowly at first. I settled into my new life in San Miguel de Allende, trying to build a routine that didn't include the family I'd left behind. But they were always on my mind. About 6 months later, Riley tried to contact me. My lawyer called me and I called home. Morgan answered and I asked to speak to Riley. I don't think Morgan recognized my voice. "Hey, baby," I said when I heard Riley's voice. "Dad? Is that you?" She started crying. "Dad, I'm so sorry. Please, Dad, I'm so sorry. I need you." Mom's in a terrible state. She drinks all the time and hangs out with men and her girlfriends from work. I think she's on something. The only good thing since we pushed you away is when you paid for me to go to music camp. Morgan is being very difficult, and I can't stand it here. Please, Dad, I need you. Do you still love me? I was so cruel to you, but I hope you still love me. I'm so sorry that I treated you this way. I know it was all because of my mother. Well, it was partly my fault. I need you, Dad. I know I didn't have your support, but I pray that you still love me. Of course I still love you, I said. I just don't know what I can do. I can't go there. Your mother would probably have me arrested. Can I come to you? She asked. I don't understand how to do this, I said. Your mother won't let you come here. I would be glad to see you, but I don't understand how to do it. If you send me money, I will run away, she said. She'll never notice until I'm with you. I hardly see her, and when I do, she's angry at me. She hates me, Dad. I can't believe she hates you, I told her. With time, she will become wiser. Why do you say she hates you? I got a bad grade in school, and she yelled at me. Her voice trembled. I told her she didn't have room to say anything to me after she drove away the only good thing in her life. She sobbed. She slapped me and told me I was a scoundrel and she wasn't going to take any nonsense from me. I think she was drunk or high, Dad. I'm so sorry. I just let them convince me that you were some evil dictator. I see how wrong I was. Please help me. Okay. Baby, calm down, I said. I'll think of something. Minors cannot travel alone without parental permission, especially outside the country. Let me see if I can come up with something. Call me tomorrow, and I'll see what's possible. I gave her my phone number, and she calmed down. She told me she loved me, and we ended the conversation. I called my lawyer, and he told me she needed a passport. But as far as the Mexican authorities were concerned, it might be helpful for her to have a signed letter of consent from me allowing her to travel unaccompanied. I knew she had a passport because we'd gone to France the year before. I faxed him a letter and arranged the trip. For some reason, my benevolent dictatorship now seemed attractive. I was rehabilitated, and Vanessa took my place as the main tyrant. One of her oppressed subjects was about to vote with her feet. I felt positively welcomed. When Riley called the next day, I had everything ready. She was going to tell her mother and sister that she was spending the weekend with a friend. She would catch a taxi to the airport and then a flight. I'd pick her up at the airport, and we'd see where to go next. I thought about having my lawyer meet her, but that would make him an accessory, and I didn't want to put him through that. I was sure Vanessa would be very vindictive if given the chance. When Riley came down the ramp, I was waiting for her. She flew across the asphalt and rushed at me, sobbing and laughing at the same time. I spun her around and then set her on the ground. Let me look at you, baby, I said. God, you've grown like a weed. You're more beautiful than ever. She looked like it too. She had her mother's dark skin and huge brown eyes. She was beginning to take on feminine curves and was gorgeous. She was mine too, and I saw the shine in the wet puddles of her eyes. "You look good, Daddy," she said. "You've lost a little weight and have a great tan." She pressed herself close to me. "I've missed you. Do you still love me?" "Of course," I said. "I never stopped. I was hoping that someday I would have the opportunity to show you. It's not like you didn't let me do it." "I know, and I'm really sorry," she said. "If you let me, I will show you how much you mean to me." "I was wrong, Dad. I don't know what's wrong with me." "It's okay," I told her. "We'll be fine. Is Morgan okay?" She was very somber. "I don't think so. She behaves like Mother." She looked at me to see how I would react to her slip of the tongue. I laughed. "She's a pain in the rear." I don't mind using descriptive words, but girls shouldn't use too many curse words. It will just make you look vulgar and cheap. You can say whatever you want as long as it's just us. Okay? She hugged me again. I took her hand, and we walked to the car. She loved the house. I showed her her bedroom, and she liked it too. We sat and talked until 2 in the morning. She caught me up on her life, and I caught her up on mine. We talked about what she wanted to do, and she wanted to stay with me forever. This made my year. I had no idea what to expect from Vanessa, but I knew there wasn't much she could do. She didn't know where I was. And things are a little different in Mexico. The U.S. government is able to do very little regarding location and custody as long as you keep your nose clean. Money can buy almost everything. If I hadn't committed a serious crime and gotten caught, Vanessa would never have found us. I don't think she even tried. I sent her a letter from the airport explaining why and where I was going. I never heard anything from her. Another year passed before we heard anything from Vanessa or Morgan at all. Riley attended school and did well. She spoke Spanish like a native, and with her skin color, she fit in very well. Then my lawyer sent me an email. He wanted to talk to me. I asked him to buy one of those cheap phones with prepaid minutes for Morgan. I set up a time when she could talk without Vanessa knowing and called her. She knew who it was when she answered. No one else had this number. Our conversation didn't start off very well. She cried so much that I couldn't understand a word she said. This went on for some time. Finally, she calmed down enough for me to understand her, and the words came out. She was pregnant. When she told me this, we went through the crying again. I wasn't sure what the tyrant's reaction would be. I knew what my father's answer was. The little girl I'd loved all my life was in trouble. There was no way I would let her face this alone. "What are you going to do, Morgan?" I asked her. "What does your mother think?" "She thinks I'm an idiot," she said bitterly. "She wouldn't let me take birth control, Dad. I've always used protection. One of them must have failed or something. I was stupid." "What about the baby's father?" I asked. "He ran away as soon as he found out," she replied. "Dad, I don't even have health insurance. Mom never signed up for it. I'm almost 18 years old, pregnant, and my life is ruined." "Your life is not ruined," I told her. "It's gotten complicated, but you'll be okay. Do you want this baby, Morgan?" "No, Dad, no," she cried. "I don't want to bring a child into this world with the genes of that idiot." "Are you going to have a termination?" I asked. "I want to," she said. "I have no idea how to do this, and I have no money. Dad, can I come to you? I know Riley's with you. Will you give me another chance?" "Yes, baby," I said. "You're my little girl, and I'll always give you another chance. All you have to do is ask." "I'm asking, Daddy," she said. "I'm begging. God, I was so stupid. Such a child. I have to grow up quickly. I understand that what I did to you was wrong, Dad. I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you, not Mom. I just wanted to do things my way, and she let me do that for a while. I understand now that she was just using me against you. I don't know why I didn't see it." "You were very young," I told her. "It's okay, Morgan. Let's focus on the future. Let's solve this problem and then we'll get to everything else. Okay?" She sniffled and cried some more, and I promised to call her the next day with the details of what I would come up with. Then I had to tell Riley what was going on. She was a little annoyed at first. "Why would she come here and ruin everything?" she said. "We're perfect, Dad. I don't want her here." "Riley, she's your sister," I said. "She's my daughter and she's in trouble. Don't you love her? Don't you think we should help her?" "I loved her," she said. "When we were all family. I loved her. But she turned into someone else. She treated me like crap. And oh my God, this is what I did to you." "Wrong lies, Daddy. She's just like me." She rushed at me and pressed herself against me. I just hugged her and stroked her dark hair. "We're done with this, baby," I said. "Yes, she is just like you, and we need to help her just like I needed to help you. I think we'll find out that your sister is back, just like I found out that my girl is back." "Daddy, you're amazing," she said, squeezing me even tighter. "You know I will always be your daughter." We made the same preparations for Morgan that I'd made for Riley. We picked her up at the airport on Sunday evening. It was very emotional, and the two girls spent a long time mending fences. Morgan didn't look pregnant yet. I asked her, and it turned out she was only 6 weeks along. She insisted on having the procedure, so I arranged it at a clinic in Houston. The procedure is practically illegal in Mexico, so we took a chance and flew to Houston. I'm categorically opposed to ending pregnancies in most situations, but it was not my decision. If ever there was a situation where it seemed necessary, this was it. I would have felt very uncomfortable if the pregnancy had been further along. We picked her up on Friday, and within a week she was back to her old beautiful and cheerful self. Morgan was the complete opposite of Riley in appearance. She was taller, more lively, and had blonde hair. There were a lot of blondes in my family. It took them a week to work out their issues, and they returned to being the duo that had me wrapped around their fingers since they were babies. My lawyer contacted me and told me that Vanessa was stalking him. She wanted to know where the girls were, where I was, what I wanted to do about the divorce, and to let me know she was selling the house before she lost it. I did not care. We had a decent amount of capital, and as far as I was concerned, she could save it. I didn't mean to punish her. I just wanted to get away from her. There comes a time in life when you find it difficult to muster the energy to be angry and resentful. You just want to be left alone, move on with your life and leave bygones in the past. I was in that moment. She wanted to talk to me and the girls. She was a lying, well, but I knew she loved her daughters, at least at some point she did. Now that they weren't objects she could use to hurt me, I hoped they might have some kind of relationship. At first, they wanted nothing to do with her and had no plans to talk to her. She wrote them long letters, which our lawyer forwarded to us. She also wrote to me. I threw mine away, but I know the girls read theirs. It was very difficult for me not to open these letters and read them. I guess I have masochistic tendencies or something, but I dug the first copy out of the trash a dozen times before I finally burned it. You can't just watch a 17-year marriage fall apart without wondering how it happened. I tormented myself with these letters. The first 4 I received before I realized what I was doing. After that, I asked the girls to pick up the mail with instructions to just get rid of everything Vanessa sent me and not tell me about it. Life had been good for me. I had my daughters. They were doing well and had treated me with more love than ever. They took care of me. I dated a few people and even found a few women who were interested enough in me to become friends with benefits. Vanessa wrote to the girls once a month for a while, and then began to write every week or even several times a week. She tired them out, and finally they sat me down and talked to me. They wanted to call her and talk to her. I didn't mind. They wondered if I would listen to the conversation. I had absolutely no desire to do this, but they begged until I agreed. I made them promise not to include me on the call or mention that I was there or listening. They also had to promise not to ask me again. This was a one-time thing, just to make sure everything was okay and she wasn't trying to manipulate them in any way. Through our lawyer, they agreed to call her on Thursday evening. They put the phone on speaker, and I made them block the number so it wouldn't get into Vanessa's hands. If they wanted to talk to her, that was their business. I didn't want her to call them. Apparently, she did a lot in her letters because they seemed quite comfortable talking to her. She still apologized a million times. Apparently, she'd been at a substance and alcohol treatment center for some time and was undergoing therapy. I did not know that. I think if I had read my letters, I would have known, but I just didn't have the courage. She wanted to see them and begged them to come visit her. They immediately rejected the idea. "We will never go there," Morgan said. "Why not, baby?" Vanessa asked. "We don't trust you, Mom," Morgan said. "You'll probably try to kidnap us and force us to stay there." We could hear sobs over the phone. "I think I deserve it," Vanessa finally managed to say. "I am to blame for all this. It hurts me so much to hear this, but I know it's my fault. If you don't come here, can I come there? I need to see you so desperately." "No," Morgan said. "You should have thought about this before you decided to drop a bomb on our family. We don't want you to know where we are." "What part of we don't trust you? Mom, don't you understand?" There was more crying. "You're killing me," Vanessa finally managed to say. I know what I was. I swear to God I won't cause any trouble. My therapist helped me understand that everything was my fault. I don't blame you or your father. I just want a chance to make it up to you. I will do anything, make any promise, sign any paper, do whatever it takes to get just one chance to see you and show you how sorry I am. Please, girls, I beg you. I grabbed a pad and wrote on it, then raised my hand to get their attention. "Tell her to sign the divorce papers, give me legal custody of you, and give up any financial claims." I handed it to Morgan. She looked at it and nodded before showing it to Riley. Riley nodded too, and Morgan told Vanessa what it would take. To my surprise, Vanessa agreed. "It will take me some time to save up the money," she said. "If the house sells before it goes into foreclosure, I might come earlier. I'll sign the papers right away. The divorce should be final in about 60 days. Girls, I hate to ask you, how is your father doing? Is he okay?" I shook my head. "He's fine," Morgan said. "We are not allowed to talk about him with you. Can you give him a message?" Vanessa asked. "I wrote to him, but I don't know if he reads my letters. Just tell him I'm sorry. I love him, and I'll try to make it up to him." "Okay, Mom," Morgan said. "I'm not sure he wants to hear anything from you. Just think how wonderful it would be if you changed your mind before you decided to throw everything away." There was a scream on the other end of the line, and Morgan looked scared. "Mother, I'm sorry," she said. "I myself have no moral principles here. Just do what you have to do. We'll call you on the 2nd and 4th Friday of the month at 6 in the evening, your time. Okay?" Vanessa's voice trembled. "Yes, girls, that will be great. Thank you. It will help me a lot to be able to talk to you. I'm trying to get my life together. I have a new job. I just couldn't stand being around those people anymore. Now I work for cable television." The rest of the conversation was pointless, and I stopped listening. They talked for over an hour, just updating each other on news. When they finished talking, the girls came and stood next to me. I sat at the bar with my back to them. They hugged me from both sides and held me in their arms for a long time. I hugged them back. They had grown so much. How did it happen? I felt good. Not being a tyrant was a great relief. The crown on the head is heavy, as they say. Now, as a mere mortal, I could hug my daughters, take them to dinner, and relax with them on the beach until it was too dark to see. Vanessa arranged everything so that she could come in 6 months. I didn't want her near our house. The girls suggested Veracruz, but it was still too close for me. We chose Tulum. We drove along the coast and had a great time. It was like old times, except we all spoke Spanish and laughed like crazy. Well, the girls laughed. Maybe I laughed once too, but it's indecent for a 42-year-old man to laugh too much, so I stopped. We rented an apartment on the beach and didn't know what to expect from Vanessa. I wasn't going to leave the girls alone with her. I didn't even want to be in the same country as her, let alone in the same apartment, but I had no choice. I went out to sunbathe on the balcony when she knocked on the door. I had no idea what they were talking about. It was none of my business. She came out 3 hours later. "You're not even going to say anything?" she asked. I threw my head back and closed my eyes. "I think you've already said everything," I answered her. "What does this mean?" she asked. "God, Khan, haven't you punished me enough?" I thought she was going to cry. "No," I said. "No? Well, what are your plans this time? Let's get this over with already," she said. "I don't have any plans. I've never punished you," I told her. "Much less enough. Planning a punishment would mean that you're important enough to me for me to waste energy on it. No, Vanessa, I just want you to leave me alone. I understand that girls need a mother. I don't mind that. I'll even be polite. Just don't test my patience. By the way, hey, look at me, Khan," she said. I reluctantly raised my head. She was a heartbreaking beauty. That mane of black hair, creamy brown skin, almost black eyes, and the shine of her white teeth were enough to drive any man crazy. Unfortunately, the inside didn't match the outside. "What?" I said. "I'm still the same," she said. "Remember the woman you fell in love with? Remember the woman you asked to marry you?" "Yes, I remember her very well," I told her. "And every day I mourn for her. You killed her." Big tears rolled down her cheeks as she looked at me. "The girls have forgiven me," she said in a trembling voice. "Why can't you?" "That's a good question," I said. "Here's the thing, Vanessa. You deceived me. You went out and did God knows what with God knows who. I certainly don't know. You deceived me, and it was easy because I trusted you. I would never have known if I hadn't run into Stephanie in the store. You would have let those lies eat away at us until they destroyed us both. When I caught you, instead of showing any regret or remorse, you made me the bad guy. I was a tyrant. I was the one who killed everyone's fun. You turned the girls against me, then went and had your own little party. I was a cruel guy with control problems. Now you came here again, after God knows what you did with God knows who, and you think that I should forgive you? You never even told me that you were wrong or apologized to me," she gasped. "I was afraid you haven't read my letters, have you?" "No, Vanessa, I didn't read them," I said. "I was trying to move on with my life. You clearly didn't want to be a part of my life, so I gave you what you wanted." "You don't know how wrong you are," she said. "I want to be in your life more than anything." "Well, I guess you got your wish," I said. "We have a couple of kids together. They seem to want you in their lives, so I guess you should be in mine too." She gave a bitter laugh. "I'm not happy," I told her. "I was apprehensive about coming here. The only reason I did was for them." "What are you going to do, Vanessa? How long are you going to stay here? What's your plan for rebuilding your relationship with your daughters?" "I'm not going back," she said. "The house is sold, Khan. We had almost $200,000 in equity. I can live on this money here for a long time. I want to be near the girls. I'm going to move to where you live. I want to be near you too." "Hell no," I told her. "Vanessa, if you interfere in our lives, I will move to the ends of the earth, and you will never hear from us again." Tears continued to roll down her cheeks. "The girls don't mind me being here," she said. "If you just let me see them and be near them, I won't bother you, Khan." "Is this some kind of convoluted plan to get me back?" I asked her. "I want you to take me back," she said. "I don't think that's going to happen, do you?" "No, that won't happen," I said. "If that's what's on your mind, you should leave now and let us be happy. That's what you do to the people you say you love. You try to make them happy." "I really want you and the girls to be happy," she said. "I think they'll be happier if I'm around. It's a shame it doesn't involve you, but it won't happen, Khan. Do you think we can be friends? I'm really sorry for the way I acted. I'm very sorry for being so disrespectful and hurting you so much." I tried to explain all this in the letters I wrote to you. I'm in a much better place in my head now. I'm ready to move on with my life, with you and the girls in it. I don't mean as husband and wife. I will be whatever you allow me to be, parents, friends with benefits, whatever you want. Just don't make it impossible for me to be a mother to the girls. Okay. I know I deserve everything you do to me. I lied and cheated, and I will regret it for the rest of my life. I'm just asking for a little mercy. Please, Khan. I felt no mercy. Can you at least tell me why you did what you did? I've asked myself this question a million times, she said. I just fell under the influence of really bad people who I thought were my friends. I justified myself by thinking that I loved you, that this didn't affect you, and that I'd get through this and we'd be okay. Now I can't understand why I thought that. I drank too much, took substances, and just lost my mind. Can I ask you a question? I said. Go on. What can't I forgive? I said. Is it the drinking, the substances? What exactly? That's a lie, I continued. If you came to me and said, Khan, I'm bored with our life and I want to go dancing and drinking with my friends, I'd probably be offended, but I wouldn't mind. I'm a pretty liberal guy, Vanessa. If you even told me that you wanted to be with others but still loved me and wanted to be with me forever, I would try to find a way to arrange it in a safe way. I don't know if I could live with it, but I would try if you asked me. It's the lie, Vanessa. It's also disrespect. You tried to make me a villain. All I ever did was love you and the girls. You tried to push me out of my own bedroom because you lied to me. It wasn't my fault. I know all my shortcomings, but you never came to me and admitted the truth. You just deceived me and disrespected me. Tears rolled down her cheeks in a steady stream. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I never wanted it to be like this. I was scared and desperate. I'm so sorry. I should have told you. I should have talked to you. Instead, I just ruined everything. She couldn't continue. She looked so pitiful and lost. Even tyrants can sometimes show mercy. I stood up and hugged her. She pressed her beautiful tear-stained face to my chest and simply sobbed, pouring out her pain. Vanessa, you haven't lost everything, I told her. The girls want you back in their lives. You have them and they want you. I will try to forgive you so we can be the parents they need. We won't be together, but if you stay on the right path, maybe we can be friends. Have you really considered moving here? If you allow me, I want to, she said. Just hold me for a minute, Khan. I'll feel better soon. Okay, we will act according to the circumstances, I said. We'll see what happens this weekend. If all goes well, you can come home with us. You can even stay with us until you find your own place. Is that what you want? She nodded into my chest. Yes, Khan, I want this more than anything. I'll be good, I promise. She really tried. The girls were delighted. We wandered around Tulum and had a great time. Vanessa stayed out late, and after the girls went to bed, she returned to her hotel. In the morning, she came back first, and we had breakfast together and spent the day together. On Monday, she arrived with a dozen bags, and we somehow fit it all into the trunk of our Escalade. We sang and laughed on the way home, and the girls started helping Vanessa practice her Spanish. She wasn't entirely fluent, but from our years together she had picked up a few useful phrases and words. The girls and I had a rule. We spoke only English at home and only Spanish outside of it. It was difficult for Vanessa at first, but she got a lot of practice, and the sooner she mastered the language, the sooner she adapted. After 3 days of staying at our house, she asked me to help her find an apartment. Took a while. If you are a foreigner, it's always better to live in an area with other foreigners. The police monitor these areas better, and there is much less crime and violence. We searched off and on for about 3 weeks. The girls asked me if she could just stay with us forever. I was categorically against this, and they immediately gave in. It was the evening of Vanessa's 4th week with us. The girls and Vanessa went to bed, and I stayed up longer, sitting at the computer and surfing the internet. When I felt someone approach from behind, Two brown arms wrapped around the back of my neck, and I smelled Vanessa. "What are you doing?" she whispered in my ear. "Watching hot cars," I replied. "Look at this, Vanessa." It was bright red with custom flames, and I loved it. "Look at that hot girl next to it," she said. "I think you look at girls and just use hot cars as an excuse." I laughed. "Yeah, you got me." She stood up and took a couple of steps back. "Look at me, Con," she said. "What are you doing, Vanessa?" I asked. "Is this another attempt at getting back together?" She came over and took my face between her hands. "No, Con, no. Don't think like that. I'm done with all the scheming and plotting. This is just Vanessa, horny as a cat in heat. I haven't been with anyone in a long time. You haven't been out with anyone while I've been here either. You're probably feeling it too. Just be with me, Connor. Neither of us is married. You can be with anyone too. Why not with each other? You're a fantastic lover. The best I've ever been with. You know I'm hot and ready for you now. Be with me. I'll make it so good for you." "It's baggage," I said. "Forget about this damn baggage," she growled. "There's no baggage here. I'm telling you, it's just two people who want each other. I'm hotter than that girl with the hot rod. Look at me." "What the hell?" I said. I hadn't been with a woman in a long time, and she was definitely all woman. She could see it in my eyes. "Do you want to go to the bedroom?" I asked. "God, I miss this so much, Con," she said. "Con, can we do this again? Can we do this often? Please, darling, I need this. I beg you." "Vanessa, you said no strings attached, remember?" I said. She quickly sat down. "No, that's not what I meant, Con." Panic crept into her voice. "I didn't force anything. I promised. I just asked. I didn't make any plans. You have to believe me." I pulled her back toward me. "Okay. Calm down, Vanessa. I was just clarifying so we don't get confused. Just an honest conversation here, making sure you don't think this means we're back together and everything is back to normal." She sobbed a little. "I know," she whispered. "I want this, but I know it's impossible. You said we could be friends. I didn't mean anything more. Friends can be together, right? I'll take whatever you give me, Connor." "Vanessa, I don't want you to waste your time pining over me," I told her. "Yes, we can be friends. If we're both feeling it. You are a beautiful woman and probably the most passionate woman in Mexico. We can be together. I think I will always love you, but we can never be together. I'd spend all my time waiting for everything to fall apart. You say you've changed, and I believe you. The problem is, you were already that woman when I fell in love with you. I'll always think that you can do it again. Next time I'll be 65 or 70 years old, and it will be too late to start life again. Both of us should look for situations in which we want to be for the rest of our lives and not live in the past. Do you understand what I mean?" "Yes," she nodded. "I understand, Con. I'm so sorry that I ruined everything. So we can't spend the rest of our lives together, but we can be friends for life, right? We'll be parents to the girls, and until we meet someone else, we can do this, right?" I hugged her. "Yes, we can do that. But we don't want to give Morgan and Riley the wrong idea. I'm sure they won't like the idea of us getting back together. They won't respect me, and they won't like you. They'll think you're up to something behind my back." "Can I spend the night here?" she asked. "We'll set the alarm, and you'll leave at 5 a.m., I said. That's what we did. We both always had high libidos, and I missed having regular intimacy. She bought a moped rental place and did well with tourists. The girls worked for her on weekends and after school and spent a lot of time with her. They seemed to mend their broken relationship. They told me that she dated occasionally, usually with some American tourist. The first time she spent the night after I found out, I took protection out of the drawer. "Why are you doing that?" she asked. "Don't do this, Connor. I like it without it." "I'm just being cautious," I said. "Why?" she asked. "You've never done this before." "I heard you were dating," I said. She laughed. "Okay, Got it. I didn't sleep with anyone, Con. When it happens, I'll tell you, then you can use protection. I somehow learned my lesson right after you left. I caught something and had to see a doctor. If I'm with someone, they will use protection. I heard you were dating too. Is there anything I need to worry about? No, I didn't sleep with anyone either, I replied. You're with me so much that I don't even look for it when dating. It has to be someone I fall in love with. I haven't met anyone I like more than you yet. Me too, she said. I'll never find anyone as good a lover as you. I was crazy. Can put away that stupid protection and take me now. I happily agreed. A year after Vanessa found her own apartment and moved out, I met Isabella Rodriguez. Morgan wanted a horse and Isabella bred horses, those black Spanish horses with long curly manes and tails, at her ranch just outside San Miguel de Allende. She was tall, dark, and aristocratic. She was also charming, curvy, and alluring. She had long, shiny black hair like the horses she bred. We met to discuss horses, and she fell in love with the girls. Of course, they were easy to love, just like her. When we actually made the purchase, she spoke English with a charming accent, and her house was immaculate. The grounds were magnificent, and the horses were beautiful creatures. I had absolutely no interest in horses. Morgan was interested, and I was interested in Morgan. I also quickly became interested in Isabella. I invited her to dinner and dancing, and to my surprise, she didn't refuse. She wasn't wearing a wedding ring when we met, but it was clear that she had been wearing one for a long time. A characteristic indentation was visible on her ring finger. Over dinner and drinks, we swapped stories. I told her about Vanessa, and she told me about her ex. He was a real playboy when they got married and seemed to think he could continue to be that way afterward. He must have been crazy, I said. Anyone who wasn't satisfied with this woman would be dead. He had to be dead in terms of feelings. I was getting excited just looking at her and listening to her talk. She took me to a club where she was a member, and we had a great time. She was an excellent dancer. I felt like a teenager at prom. She smelled incredible and felt even better in my arms. Vanessa had been wonderful, but this was something else. I could see into her deep cleavage, and there was a red lace bra there. Call me Connor, she said. I had a wonderful time, and I'd love to see you again. We dated a couple of times a week for 2 months before she took things further. She invited me to a picnic at her house. We walked out to one of her horse pastures by a river that ran through it. We sat on a blanket under the willows, and I sat with my back against the tree. After we ate, she leaned her head back on my shoulder and looked at me. She had the most exotic almond-shaped brown eyes I'd ever seen. Here? I asked. She laughed. Yes, here. No one will see us. We are very private. Well, I've never been one to turn down a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We were together, and afterward we relaxed for a while. I admired her in the fading light. We got dressed and headed back to the house. Connor, I want you to stay tonight, she said. We have to tell the girls. I laughed. Okay, you let them know, Isabella. She gave me a beaming smile and sent the girls a message filled with a lot of emojis. Her phone vibrated twice, and she smiled once more as she read the texts. They want photographs, she said. We laughed, and she pulled me into bed. I thought I was done for the night, but she convinced me otherwise, and we were together for a very long time. She fed me breakfast the next morning, and we talked for a while. Connor, she said, her huge brown eyes piercing my soul. Do you love me? I choked on my juice, and she laughed. I loved the sound of that laugh. I didn't answer right away, gathering my thoughts. Her eyes continued to sparkle at me. I think she enjoyed my embarrassment. Isabella, my life is very difficult, I told her. To answer your question, yes, I love you. We've only known each other for a few months, but I love everything I've learned about you. You're insanely beautiful, funny, witty, smart, independent, and a very good businesswoman. Your passion is like a volcano. Yes, I love you, but I have difficulties in my life. My daughters depend on me, and I met them before I met you. I understand, she nodded. That's what I would expect from you. Isabella can be loved, but daughters are loved too. How could it be otherwise? There's also Vanessa, I continued. We're divorced, but we're raising the kids together. I have a commitment to her, not romantically. We were together before our first date, but I haven't done that since. I need to tell her about us and see what it means to her. Do you understand? She nodded again. But do you still love her, Connor? Yes, probably, I admitted. I'm not in love with her, if that's what you mean. We were married for a long time. She seems to have really changed and gone back to the woman I married. I don't want her to get into trouble again. She didn't say anything, but I could see the gears turning behind those eyes. She seemed pleased, and after a while, she walked me to my car. I was as easygoing on the way home as I had been since the uprising began. The girls attacked me as soon as I walked through the door. This is so good, Morgan exclaimed, squeezing one side of me. Riley was on the other side, and I looked at her questioningly. Yes, she said. I assumed it was something good. I think they were planning my wedding from then on. I was about to have an unpleasant meeting with Vanessa. I was afraid of this, but as it turned out, my fears were in vain. I was stunned when she came in 2 days later. She rushed toward me, hugging and kissing me in the hallway. I don't understand what's happening, I said. Con, I'm so happy for you, she said, very excited. Isabella came to me. I love her, Con. She's perfect for you. It also makes it easier for me to tell you something I've been avoiding. I met someone, Con. The someone turned out to be a French ex-soldier named Philippe. I called him Phil, and it didn't seem to bother him. He was a friendly man. I liked him straight away, and he seemed very devoted to Vanessa. He and the girls shared a friendly tolerance for each other. He found their relationship amusing, and they considered him harmless, although not inspiring. He seemed perfect for Vanessa, at least to me. She seemed to fall in love with Isabella, and Phil was speechless in her presence. My only problem seemed to be another rebellion. My daughters, my ex-wife, and my girlfriend seemed to be closely conspiring to get me married as quickly as possible. I don't even remember proposing. I was whisked off to the ring store before I knew it, and we were getting married in June. Isabella was a vision, and my daughters were amazing. Vanessa ran the whole show, and we were whisked away in a limousine to the airport. Phil arranged for us to honeymoon in France, where he still had a house in Nice. I knew I was in for an incredible adventure. Isabella was the stereotypical passionate, emotional, and very pretty Latina. In addition, I realized that there was a new queen in town. I thought I would be happy under her rule. Thank you for your viewing. See you next time. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to JK Tells a Story for more tales.